And welcome back to Aspheric News this morning. And today we are bringing you our headline news story. And also, in my studio with me is our regular our regular guest, Alhaji
Mustafa
Abdul Malik. Alhaji, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
And how is Abuja and how's the weather?
Abuja, the weather is good. It's a rainy season.
It's rainy season.
Yeah.
Raining almost every day.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So. Most especially, some say that it's good for farmers. Some businesses say it's really not good for us because we can't have
movement there. We need rain.
Definitely. Okay, that's good. So, in our first newspaper review, the Punch newspaper review this morning, so Alhaji will be discussing this bit by bit because we want us to get more details to understand what the newspapers are saying this morning. The top stories on the Punch newspaper is Trap Forest, more airlines to suspend Nigerian operation. And if you recall, day before yesterday, Emirates issued their statement and also apologized that they will reduce flight numbers in a week from was this 16 to 6.
Yes, and they said by September 1st they will cease operation in Nigeria
because of the Trap Forest in Nigeria. What is the stake about that? Also said that they have met with CBN deputy governor at the first meeting, and also they have met with the CBN governor. In short, trying to see how this trap money can come out. And the problem about Nigerian government is that if they do it for only Emirates and other people also
other airlines to follow suit. It's all about the issue of foreign exchange, the aspect of dollar issue that Nigeria is dealing with. It's difficult for Nigeria to source for dollar. Virtually both the aviation, both the manufacturing industry, virtually all, they need dollar. And where is this dollar coming from? The dollar is coming from only the oil. We don't export any other thing that will give us foreign exchange in dollars. So that is the problem we are facing. Well, it's really sad that you have a major airline like Emirates that they are trying to cease or halt operation in Nigeria. It's not only them, even the Turkish airline and the Ethiopian airline too, they are saying the same thing too. You understand? So the only thing now that the CBN is forcing them to do is to accept payments, transaction in Naira, of which they are saying no. That is the problem. So you now discover that part of their money is being trapped in Nigeria. They want to get it back in dollar, but government is not willing to give them that dollar because we don't have enough dollar too. So government is trying to compel them to accept the Naira. That is the issue. It's really a problem.
I just hope that the federal government is able to sort that out because of Christmas.
Yes. It's around the corner. And we have Nigerians that they'll be coming home for. Apart from that, again, we have our own local airlines too. They're having challenges. They are complaining about aviation fuel. Aviation fuel that they are now saying is going to about 1,000 naira to a liter. It's still part of the problem.
All right, we also have another story there on the Punch newspaper. Punch newspaper that is coming from Ahmed, Minister of Foreign Finance. Said federal government to end petroleum subsidy in June 2023. And my question is, this government, I think the other 29 May.
Yeah.
I suppose 29 May. So why will federal government not end subsidy in June 2023?
They are trying to set a post for the incoming administration. So you understand, it's something that is very technical, it's very tricky. You understand? Even you recall that sometimes last year, government said they have removed the subsidy and they keep on playing around with it. You understand? The only thing is that what we know, Dr. Israel, we should tell ourselves the truth that, for instance, in the year 2022, 4 trillion was budgeted for fuel subsidy, and by June next year, it's going to about 6 trillion. So the only thing is that we should tell ourselves the truth. So much is being expended on this subsidy, and nobody know how, because the process is not transparent enough. So all we keep on hearing is the figure of 4 trillion on petroleum subsidy. That money is enough to do major project. A project like take for instance a project like the Port Harcourt to Maiduguri train service. It's enough to do that. But well, let's see how it goes. They say the next year, so if the next administration will accept that, let's see how it goes.
Same at Punch newspaper. We also have a Muslim museum ticket. Is a problematic for Nigerian PFN.
Yeah, it's we have said it here before. It's going to be it's just like you and I sitting on this desk now at the FEC meeting. You now discover that the president is a Muslim, the vice president is a Muslim. If the secretary of the government of the federation to happen to be a Muslim too, and what about the service chief too? So I mean, so it becomes a serious problematic. I don't think that. Although this is a multi-party system whereby there are other political parties that Nigerians have the option to choose from, but people are more concerned that this is a ruling party. The ruling party, there is this aura around the ruling party that they are more of an advantageous position than the opposition. That is where Nigerians are afraid of, that if peradventure the ruling party becomes the winner of the 2023 election, it means it will be a very serious problem. Very serious problem. I don't think that the ruling party, they foresee this. If they foresee this, they would avoid this right from their primary. I don't think they see it this way.
All right. So still on the Punch newspaper, debt servicing gives 13.17 trillion naira under Buhari education suffers. For FG budgets 4 trillion for education in 7 years. Sector loses 839 days to strike. Salary arrears, sterling negotiations, says federal government. No pay, no resumption. ASUU education underfunded. Federal government may borrow to fund sector economics one. It's a huge problem in Nigeria.
It's a very huge problem. Do you know, Doctor, my own fear now is the coming administration. They are going to inherit a very major problem. A major problem that, and you not understand that Nigerians are not ready to give that opportunity to any administration again. That is why you now discover that everybody is just watching. Nobody is saying anything. It's a very huge problem. The investment in education is becoming too big, and you now discover that part of what the government is investing, Nigerians are not feeling the impact because of incessant strike. He said that the Polytechnic will go on strike. Up till now, ASUU is still on strike. Polytechnic will go on strike. College of Education will go on strike. Then you talk about the other categories of people within the education sector, which is secondary. Although that one is not much problem because it's something of both the state and the federal government has a contribution to make within in that regard. So nobody is talking about that one. But we're looking at education at the tertiary level. It's a very serious problem. I wish that the government can have a kind of educational reform whereby they will solve major problem regarding this incessant strike, and the issue of funding too should be solved too. Because if you look at what is causing this part of strike at the tertiary education is the issue of funding. Government they had this intention of completely giving an independence to the tertiary education, like universities. They should be independent on their own. Meaning government is not ready to fund them, and it's not going to all go well. When we have complete independence in the tertiary education, like the federal universities, you now notice that the situation now will be different. A situation whereby just like what they charge, what the private universities are charging, that is exactly what the federal universities too will come and start charging, and that it doesn't all go well for us. Nigerians should, especially the government, should do more in this aspect.
Still on the ASUU strike, that will be on the Daily Trust newspaper. On Daily Trust newspaper, we're having a serious headline on the newspaper. Strike, no end in sight at ASUU. Federal government refused to shift ground. Buhari insists no work, no pay. No law back policy, SAN. Don't pay us and forget 2 session lecturers. It's crazy. It's like a drama. Like
No,
you look as if it's a drama.
You know, our people they used to say that when two elephants fight, is the grass that suffer.
Suffered it,
So
yes.
that is the situation here now. I read after the Minister of Education the statement yesterday at the
Press
villa,
briefing.
he now said that they are going to implement the no work, no pay.
But it's not on the constitution.
It's not on the constitution. It's
So,
not backed by the law.
it's not backed by the law.
And already the money for the lecturers have already been budgeted for the 2022 budget. So it means they must be paid. But if you look at it from another aspect, you now discover that, look, it means we are encouraging strike. At every moment, somebody will strike because he knows quite okay that he will be paid at the end of the day. The backlog of arrears of 4 months, they will be paid. And that is where ASUU now are now saying that, look, if you are not going to pay us, it means we are not coming back to class. And they have threatened that they are ready to stay at home, even to lose the complete session. That is what it means. And it means this student will stay back at home.
For 2 sessions.
For 2 sessions. That is what they are saying. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I believe, just like what the minister said, he said they have already resolved all other negotiations, but what is now left at stake now is the issue of their arrears to be paid for these 5 months that they have been at home. So that is where the bone of contention now is on that payment. The moment the government decide to agree that, look, we are going to pay you the 5-month arrears, they are ready to go back to the class. That is exactly what ASUU said. And ASUU is now saying that, look, the service they render to the government is not like a medical doctor, whereby a medical doctor, once a medical doctor go embark on a strike and anything happen to the patient, that the patient now either the fatality of life. That is what they are saying, that their own service is not like that, that they will still meet up. Whenever they call up the strike and they go back to the class, they must meet up the backlog of the curriculum that they did not cover. So that is what they say.
What if the student is not in the mood to meet up? Because
the Nigerian student have any right? The Nigerian student doesn't have right. If you know what is happening at the classrooms.
No, let me not take it. One interesting story on Daily Trust newspaper: NPA generates 176 billion in 6 months, remit 78.5 billion to federal government. It's commendable. Yeah,
it's really commendable. You know, the current management team and the board, they are doing very exceedingly well, because this money is huge. You understand? No matter how we decide to look at it, the money is coming at a time that the oil revenue is dwindling, or it's not forthcoming the way it's supposed to come, and the government is now falling back on non-oil sector. And you now discover that NPA and NIMASA and some other federal inland revenue, they are now contributing a large chunk of the non-oil revenue. This is commendable. We should commend the current management of the NPA, especially the managing director of the NPA. This is huge. It's huge. And recall that this is just within 6 months.
All right, so the next newspaper to review this morning will be on the Sun newspaper. In the Sun newspaper, we have angry Buhari orders security agent to wipe out terrorists. Direct Humanitarian Affairs Ministry orders to ensure IDPs returned unhindered.
Well,
the question is it the first time?
This is not the first time. He has been saying this long time ago. I think, if I can recall, since 2017, he has been saying this. And Buhari should be courageous to, I'm sorry to use this language, should be courageous to show that example of a presidential example, to say, okay, look, once you delegate or you have placed an order and that order is not effective, it means something is wrong somewhere. You understand? Every day Nigerians are being killed. Every day he keep on issuing this statement of saying, okay, military go after them, do this, do that. And it's, you know, in 2017 or 2016, this problem is more or less localized to northeast alone. But right now it has snowballed and spread beyond northeast now to the northwest. And then we are now seeing activities of the terrorists even in the FCT. You understand? So it's a really problem. So if President Muhammadu Buhari decide to say, okay, the military should go after them. The military should go all after them. They shouldn't even wait until the president says so. But he is the commander-in-chief. some information are more available to him than us Nigerians. But we as Nigerians will keep on to tell him the truth that look, he needs to do more in this regard.
All right, still on the Sun newspaper, we have interesting story on the Sun newspaper. Lagos extend ban on Okada to 4 other LGA. Obi accused APC others of disformation, deceit, certificate forgery, suit against Tinubu, APC, INEC for hearing October 12. What's they have to do?
It's a problem. You understand? This is like I will keep saying that look, APC is the ruling party, so they ought to live by example, to show that exemplary leadership to other political parties. But so far, they are not meeting up to that. You discover that their candidate is full of people keep on talking. Although health is challenges that is beyond anybody's imagination. It's something of natural occurrence. But you now see that he's looking somehow frail, and the issue of his health is subject of controversy. Then the issue of certificate again. Well, I don't think APC foresee this. If they had foresee this, that it will become a problem, they should have solved this problem at the primaries. You understand? Because their candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is not the only candidate that vie for that at the primaries. Why they then decided to narrow it down to only him, and then he emerged the winner, instead of solving much problem that they are dealing with today? We are talking about the Muslim same ticket, then the issue of certificate saga. Is going to be resolved at the court. It doesn't all go well in the way APC is doing. APC is supposed to live an exemplary life and show that leadership as a ruling party. You understand? That sanity that they are talking about, recall that they came to power on the threshold of change mandate. And that change mandate, they have not been able to show that example. And it's really uncalled for.
Our next newspaper to review this month will be on the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard newspaper, 7 families member died after poisoning meal in Zamfara State. 18.39 billion spent on fuel subsidy per day. 18.39 billion spent on fuel subsidy per day. Now the question I want to ask, are they buying the fuel for us to fuel our cars, or are giving the money to someone?
Dr. Israel, you understand? You see, the whole thing, that is why you see pundit, when they are talking about this fuel subsidy, there are some people that believe that, look, what government is spending on subsidy, that government itself doesn't know the amount of fuel that Nigerians use on daily basis. You understand? So it's based on that figure now, it means that on daily basis Nigerians use over 4 million liters of fuel on daily basis. That is when you decide to divide that amount of money. So, and you discover that some Nigerians believe that it's less than that. You understand? But it's only government that knows exactly this thing, because at the end of the day, when you sum up this money now on daily basis to times 12, that is for the 12th month, you now discover that it's over 4 trillion. And that 4 trillion can give us a good road from Maiduguri down to Port Harcourt, or from Port Harcourt down to Lagos, a dual carriageway, just like we have in Abuja here, from the city center to the airport. So it's really unfortunate. Nigerian government is like, up till now, we don't have that freedom information bill whereby the journalists can go and dig out how they arrive at this amount of money that they are spending on subsidy.
All right. So still on the Vanguard newspaper, we have some northern governors destroying the primary education in the north.
Yeah, it's true, because only recently we heard that Sokoto and Zamfara State, that there was no NECO, is it NECO and either NECO or WAEC. You discovered that this is a problem. We're having a region whereby dealing with illiteracy problem, and we still have a region whereby out of school children they are there. So, and you now discover that government has not been able to prioritize education within the core northern state, and it's really unfortunate. This is 21st century, and you are dealing with out of school children. Even in some part of Abuja here, you now see children roaming around the street, all in the name of Almajiri. By now, the governor is supposed to outlaw Almajiri system and face it out completely, and seriously invest in education. Invest in education is not only about what the amount of money they put. By now, the state government houses of assembly supposed to enact laws to ban Almajiri and make primary and secondary education compulsory. Through that, you now discover that any parent that default to put his son or daughter in the school, that parent should be charged to court. But we don't see that. Since we don't see that, you now discover that instead of going forward, we are now seeing mass illiteracy, which is it doesn't. No nation grow on that. No nation grow in a situation whereby a bulk of its population are illiterate.
Before we leave, we want to give you a highlight of our program. ASFREC have launched a new program called 2 Cents, and I want you to watch out for that, please. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Watch out for our program on 2 Cents. It's all about human feeling, and we'll be giving you stories come across stories that will interest you. We have stories on depressions, and also we have different type of stories that have to do with human behavior, human lives, and there's a lot to see on 2 Cents, and that program will be coming up soon by next week, and I hope you tune in ASFREC and watch out for that. I think it will be 2 times in a week, Tuesday and Thursdays. I think so, Tuesday and Thursdays. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name remains Israel Ibeleme, and with me in the studio is Adumalik. Mustafa Alhaji, thank you so much for also joining us every morning, and also spending your time to join us in ASFREC.
Thank you.
We are really grateful having you every morning.
Thank you.
That's interesting, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. So for us to thank our viewers who has been following us on our social media handle, we want to say a big thank you to all of you. Those who share our content, we want to say a big thank you to you. Those also who click on our channel, want to say a big thank you. Those who have already subscribed to our channel, want to say a big thank you to you. We are so amazing to have you in our group on ASFREC TV. So do not forget to follow us all the time. Also, click on the notification button to join us anytime we are live, to be able to join us anytime we are live. And also, please do share to your friends all our content and information. Please drop a message on the comment sections. Let's hear from you. What is going on? What is the feel about what we are discussing? What's your interest program, the thing that we should also focus on? And do not forget to follow us on our Facebook official ASFREC News, on Instagram ASFREC News, on Twitter ASFREC News. Please, the major one is our YouTube channel. So do not forget to follow us on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is ASFREC TV. Do not forget that. Please, thank you so much for joining us, and we are really, really grateful having you on ASFREC. Thank you and goodbye for now.
Yeah.